I was 17, and honestly, I was clueless. I still remember the day I made a deal with my parents, like it was some kind of business contract. I told them, if you let me have a dog, I swear I'll study harder than ever. I'll listen, I won't mess up, I'll be happy. Back then, I believed a dog would fix everything. I thought if I could just have one, my whole life would finally fall into place. But at 17, I didn't understand how selfish that wish really was. I didn't know I was asking for an entire life, a living soul, just to fill my emptiness. And then, Buddy came into our home. He was so small, so unbelievably small. Every time he moved, my heart tightened. His ears drooped like they were too heavy, and his eyes always looked unfairly betrayed. I would stare at him for so long, thinking, is this really my dog? But what surprised me most wasn't his size, it was his personality. Buddy followed me everywhere. If I sat down, he'd quietly press against me. He didn't ask for anything. He didn't bark. He just stayed. Like he had decided that wherever I was, that was where he belonged. And somehow, he always knew, when I picked up a camera, the moment I turned the lens on, he became a star without even trying. Buddy wasn't just a dog, he was a presence in my life. During high school, when my days were full of fear, Buddy became my comfort and stability. And looking back now, I realize something painful. I survived those years because of him. But the harder I worked, the less time I had for Buddy. For 3 years, I left home early, went to school, then studied until midnight. Then I got into college, and I moved into a dorm. After that came internships, job searching, traveling, relationships, friends. Life kept moving forward, and Buddy's life quietly passed behind me. To me, it felt like 5 or 6 short years. But for Buddy, it was half his entire life. That realization planted something inside me. Guilt, a debt I could never repay. Later, I became a YouTube creator, and that job became a blessing. Not because of fame or money, but because I could stay home with Buddy. I could finally be with him all day. Maybe it was selfish, maybe it was my way of easing my guilt, but my biggest goal became simple. I didn't want a life without him. I didn't need to be rich. I just wanted a life where I could take Buddy outside 4 times a day, where I could walk with him whenever he wanted, where he never had to wait alone. For the first time, I felt like I was giving him the life he deserved. I bought better food, better supplements. I learned how to drive. I got a car. And suddenly, Buddy wasn't just my dog. He was my travel partner, my family.
I didn't give him enough love in the past.
Through YouTube, Buddy received love from strangers. People didn't just ask how I was doing, they asked how Buddy was doing. Some even called themselves Buddy fans.
I just watch him eat and get anxious.
And even when my life felt like it was collapsing, Buddy was always there. No matter where I lived, no matter who came and went, Buddy stayed the same, steady, loyal, unchanging. He taught me what unconditional love looked like. He taught me what responsibility meant, and he shaped me into the person I am today. For a while, I thought things were okay. I thought, maybe I'm making up for the past. Maybe I'm doing enough now. But even that started to feel wrong, because deep down, I knew I wasn't doing it only for Buddy. I was doing it to ease my conscience. I was paying back a debt I never should have created. And the more I loved him, the more afraid I became.
Happy birthday to you.
Easy there, Dobby.
Because I knew the truth. Dogs don't live forever. Time was never on my side.
Gotcha.
And one day, Buddy started to change. He became calmer, softer, more gentle. He wasn't the troublemaker he used to be. Watching him grow old felt like watching sand slip through my fingers. Every day he ate well. Every day he ran. Every day he slept peacefully. I would suddenly think, this won't last forever.
It's okay, baby, it's okay.
And then one morning,
I'm here,
everything
I got you.
shattered. Buddy
Please
suddenly
be okay.
collapsed. He started having a seizure. We rushed to the hospital.
Okay, Dobby.
They did an MRI.
Mommy's here. You are so
And the
brave,
doctor
but
said
everything's
words
going to be
that
all
still
right.
echo in my head. Brain tumor. They told me he might have 6 months. Maybe a year and a half if we were lucky. I cried for days. Even the best case scenario felt like nothing. It felt like someone handed me a countdown clock and expected me to keep breathing. But I pulled myself together. I promised myself that if Buddy came home, I would make the rest of his life peaceful.
I'm right here.
And maybe he understood, because after he was discharged, he recovered so quickly. The next day, he walked like nothing happened. He wagged his tail, sniffed the air, acting like my buddy again. For a moment, I felt hope. But that hope didn't last long. Not even 3 days later, Buddy collapsed again. Another seizure. Back to the hospital.
You're such
And
a
this
good
time,
boy.
he didn't bounce back. 1 day became 2, 2 became 3, 3 became 4. And the scariest part was this. Every time I visited, the doctor's timeline got shorter. First it was a year and a half, then it was 6 months, then 3 months. And then, they told me to prepare myself. All of that happened in 10 days. 10
I have
days.
to do something. She can't leave me.
10 days ago,
wish I had
I was
better news
praying
for
for
you.
1 more year. Now I was praying for 1 more day, 1 more hour.
To keep him comfortable.
Buddy finally slept peacefully for a moment. And then the seizures came back, stronger than ever, and at that moment, I understood. There was nothing left I could do, except let him go without pain. I hate that I was 17 when I met him, because I was immature. And I didn't know. I didn't know how much of my life he would become. I didn't know how much happiness he would give me. And I didn't know how much heartbreak he would take with him when he left. Buddy, I'm sorry. Thank you. And I love you. More than words will ever be able to hold.